Well, here I am out here in the old Walmart parking lot right behind McDonald's in Clinton, Illinois. My fuel pump just went out on this car, which really pisses me off because this is a new fuel pump I just put on a month ago. But I verified that it is indeed the fuel pump. It would crank and crank and crank and wouldn't start. I thought it was flooded. I sprayed some starting fluid in the carburetor and it would fire up and run for a few seconds off the starting fluid, so I know the ignition system's working fine. And I pulled the top off the carburetor to check the bowl, expecting to find the float stuck in the fuel spilling over, but what I saw was exactly the opposite. The bowl of the carburetor is completely empty. I pulled the fuel line off the carburetor and cranked the car over to see if any fuel would squirt out of that hose, and it didn't. So then I thought maybe the fuel filter was clogged. So I pulled the fuel filter off and cranked it over to see if any fuel would spray out of the hose going into the fuel filter, and it didn't. So it is indeed the fuel pump. I bought that fuel pump for 20 bucks at Advanced Auto Parts in Champaign. So luckily my insurance plan came with roadside assistance, so I'll be getting a free tow back home to Farmer City. But this is really pissing me off that a month-old fuel pump's already failed. I will certainly be getting all over Advanced Auto Parts' case about this issue. So I'm just sitting here right now waiting for the tow truck to come get me. And the only auto parts store within walking distance in Farmer City is Napa Auto Parts. They're right here where I'm broke down. There's a AutoZone within walking distance just a few doors down, but unfortunately at this time of night they're closed, so I can't just walk over there and get a new fuel pump. So what I'll probably do about this problem is I'll walk over to Napa in Farmer City, because that's the only auto parts store in walking distance in Farmer City. I'll go to Napa, get a new fuel pump, put it on, and then go back to Advanced Auto Parts where I got this fuel pump from and demand my money back. Either that or I'll call them up and see if they'll bring me a new fuel pump, although I highly doubt I'll be able to get Advanced Auto Parts to deliver a fuel pump all the way from Champaign or Bloomington to Farmer City, because that's like a half-hour drive. But we'll see. Just out here getting some fresh air while waiting for the tow truck. The old Walmart they closed back in the summer. They're currently turning it into a tractor supply. Yeah, at least when that tow truck gets here, it'll have plenty of room to get in, because this is a big old open parking lot. Well, that tow truck is sure taking its sweet time getting here. I called at 10:04. It's 10:42 now, so it's been almost 40 minutes. I'm still out here waiting. Well, my night is ruined. It is now after midnight. I've been broke down for over 2 hours. I called back my roadside assistance provider, and they said, oh yeah, we tried calling all the towing companies in the area, and nobody can get to you at this time of night. So I let my insurance agent talk me into buying that roadside assistance service, thinking that it was something I could depend on in a situation like this. It says 24-hour emergency road service. Useless fucking company. I got this through Acceptance Insurance in Decatur, and in the morning I'm going to be contacting my insurance agency and demanding my money back for this useless fucking service that failed me whenever I needed them. I've tried other attempts to get this car to run again. I walked down there to the Minute Mart, which is open 24 hours, and I bought a gas can for the ridiculous convenience store price of $14, put a couple gallons of gas in it and carried it over here, hoping that maybe it was just out of gas, but my fuel gauge was stuck on quarter of a tank. I poured almost all the gas in the gas tank, but left some for the carburetor. I pulled the top off the carburetor, filled up the bowl in the carburetor, poured a little down the carburetor to prime it. I started it up, it ran, and it idled for about a minute, but once the bowl in the carburetor emptied, it shut off and wouldn't start back up again. So I'm just stuck here till 7:30 in the morning. And that really sucks because it's supposed to get down to 27 degrees tonight. So I'm going to be getting down Advance Auto Parts' case about that new fuel pump I just bought a month ago that's already failed and left me stranded. And then I'm going to be getting on my insurance company's case about that useless fucking roadside assistance program they talked me into buying. Well, here I am walking to the Minute Mart to warm up. It's fucking cold out here. I think that LED sign over there on the front of the bank says that it's 35 degrees. Whatever temperature it is, it's fucking cold. Yeah, 35 degrees. I can see it better than the camera can. Oh, what a long and miserable night it's been. It's after 8:30 in the morning now. I've been sitting, well, not been sitting here, but I've been stranded now for over 10 hours. This breakdown happened at 10 o'clock last night. Now it's 8:30 in the morning. I'm between paychecks right now. I've been losing hours at work due to machine breakdowns and shit, so I had to contact my dad. He's sending me some money via PayPal. Just gotta wait to receive that, and then I'm gonna walk a few doors down to AutoZone to get a new fuel pump, put it on. I'll be making a video of that. At long last, he's finally back up and running again. You can just barely see it down there. There's the new fuel pump. Walked on down to AutoZone just a few doors down. Luckily they had one in stock. Well, they had two in stock. And luckily this new one's a Delphi OE part. Here's a piece of shit that let me down. This fucking thing's less than a month old. And it was actually leaking fuel into the oil. So now I'm going to need an oil change. This is a CarQuest brand from Advance Auto Parts. I'm going to be getting all on their case about this. I'm going to tell them they got to refund my money for this fucking piece of shit fuel pump, and they owe me the cost of an oil change. And right now, it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning, so I've been broke down for almost 13 hours. And I will certainly have a few choice words with my insurance company about that useless fucking piece of shit Tow Busters roadside assistance service that let me down. I spent the first 2 hours of the breakdown sitting in here in the car. Then I spent 6 hours loitering around the Minute Mart, and then ever since 6 o'clock this morning, so that's 5 hours now, I've been stuck out here again. I sat in McDonald's for about 3 hours, and then the past couple hours I've been fucking with this shit. So I'm so glad to be up and running now. I'm gonna go get me a full tank of gas, and because the employees at the Minute Mart were so hospitable and let me loiter around the store for 6 hours, I'll be buying my gas from Minute Mart. Shove this new fuel pump, the old fuel pump, back in the box the new one came in. And yes, I know, car's fucking full of garbage. It's because it's been so damn cold. I haven't felt like getting out here and cleaning this shit out. And I probably ain't gonna do that today because I'm so damn tired from being stranded here for 13 hours. I'm gonna go get my gas, get me some beer, and then I'm gonna go home and go to bed. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time, hopefully on a much happier note. And by the way, for those of you that have watched my latest videos, this is the fucking shit that doesn't belong here CD player that that Pioneer 8-track player will be replacing.